On Friday and Saturday, June 25th and 26th, 8 of the NHRA's best pro stock drivers and 8 lucky K&N Horsepower Challenge Sweepstakes finalists came together in Norwalk, Ohio for the 2011 K&N Horsepower Challenge. One lucky driver would walk away with a $50,000 payday, while an equally fortunate finalist would take home a new 2011 Ford Explorer. The finalists arrived at the track and were paired with their pro stock driver by a random drawing. Portia Bennett from Seattle, Washington, drew Roger Brogdon. Vincent Ketchie from Troutman, North Carolina, was paired with Ron Krischer. Harold Goldberg from Rio Rancho, New Mexico, drew defending champion Greg Anderson. Charisse James from Baltimore, Maryland, was paired with 2010 runner-up Mike Edwards. Jerry Coley from Montgomery, Alabama, was paired with this year's fan vote winner Erica Enders. Ken Hartz from Strongsville, Ohio, was paired up with Alan Johnson. Sherry Hale from Poplar Bluff, Missouri, drew Shane Gray. And Beverly Walton from Moreno Valley, California, drew number 1 qualifier Jason Line. The first to the line of battle was last year's K&N Horsepower Challenge winner Greg Anderson, taking on Ron Krischer in his Valvoline ride. That meant Vincent Ketchie and Harold Goldberg would be watching, hoping their driver would be the one to advance. Although the two left the line at almost the same moment, Krischer was quickly slowed by tire shake, giving Anderson a virtually uncontested ride to the next round, much to Harold's delight. In the next pairing, 2-time Horsepower Challenge runner-up Mike Edwards brought his Penhall Pontiac to the line to face the Racer's Edge car driven by Roger Brogdon. This time, it was Portia Bennett and Charisse James looking on in anticipation, each confident their driver would be the winner. In a wire-to-wire performance, Edwards left the line first and turned on the win light with the third quickest pass of the round at 6.59 seconds. Up next was 2008 Horsepower Challenge winner Alan Johnson taking on the Service Central car of Shane Gray. Both teams were ready, and so were their corresponding finalists Ken Hartz and Sherry Hale. Unfortunately, Johnson had issues almost immediately and pushed in the clutch early, allowing Gray to advance to the second round with ease, covering the quarter mile in 6.62 seconds. Sherry was pumped. She could only hope the next round would be that easy. The final pairing featured the number 1 qualifier, Jason Line, and his Summit Racing Pontiac, taking on Erica Enders in the Zaza Energy Cobalt, carrying the hopes of finalists Beverly Walton and Jerry Coley. Once again, the drivers left the line as if welded together, with Erica Enders gaining the closest of victories with her Chevrolet, tripping the finish line timers in 6.585 seconds, the quickest pass in round 1. The semifinal round opened with 2009 Pro Stock champion Mike Edwards taking on the Service Central car of sophomore runner Shane Gray. Unfortunately for Shane Gray and finalist Sherry Hale, the race was over before it started, as Gray left the line 1/1000th of a second early, awarding the automatic win to Edwards, bringing Charisse James one step closer to that new Ford.
Well, Sherry, I guess you didn't see the red light. 1/1000th of a second, you come up that much short. Have you had a good time out here this weekend?
The other semifinal match had Greg Anderson, last year's Horsepower Challenge winner, taking on upset-minded Erica Enders, who had qualified for this year's event via the fan vote. In another close race, it was Anderson using a stellar .008 reaction time and the quickest and fastest pass of the day at 6.583 seconds to eliminate Enders, who posted an equally strong 6.587 in the losing effort.
Hi, I'm Charisse James. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. My driver is Mike Edwards, and I am so excited to be here. My uncle is an avid fan of racing, and this happens to be my birthday week, and it kind of was a fluke. He said, wouldn't that be something if you actually won a couple of days after your birthday? So he told me to enter, and here I am.
My name's Harold Goldberg. I'm from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. My driver's Greg Anderson. Well, I think Greg, he won it last year. No reason why he can't repeat.
In a repeat of last year's K&N Horsepower Challenge final, Greg Anderson would take on rival Mike Edwards in the final, with Edwards looking for his first win, while Anderson looked to tie the all-time HPC record with his 4th victory. Harold and Charisse anxiously waited at the finish line, hoping to hear their driver's name announced as this year's winner. Edwards got the jump with a quick .013 reaction time, but Anderson was able to run him down with a 6.587 second, 209.17 mile-per-hour pass, edging Edwards by less than 0.02 of a second, giving Greg his 4th win in Pro Stock's specialty event. Charisse congratulated an understandably excited Harold on his new Ford Explorer, as did back-to-back K&N Horsepower Challenge winner Greg Anderson, who collected his $50,000 check, the spectacular Champions Trophy, and the shiny new ring in a joyous K&N Horsepower Challenge winner's circle.